So the neurologist comes. His name is Dr. Horschmeyer, and he's like, Jonathan. He's a very nice guy. He's like super cool. Like he's like an American that originally, I don't explain it, but Miami has like it's Miami culture, and he's like the old school Miami, like American Miami, and he's super like. There's not many people with that great bedside manners, and he was great in that sense. So he's like, all right, so I got my results. I'm like, okay, like what's the deal? He's like, all right, so. And he kind of goes quiet, and I'm like, look, doctor, like I don't like things to be sugar coated. Like I just want I want to hear worst case scenario right off the bat. I don't want to hear best case scenario.
Yeah.
He's like, honestly, I'm like, yeah, honestly. He's like, it doesn't look good, like that. He's just like, it doesn't look good. So, and what am I? Like I'm literally chasing doctors for 2 weeks now, and he's like, it doesn't look good.
Jeez.
I'm like, what does that mean? So he like pulls up the MRIs, and I've seen MRI before, like the readings and stuff. So he's like, hold on, I'll be back. And he disappears for like 10, 15 minutes.
Wait, so he just
So
tells you
I
it
think
doesn't look
speak to
good
the
and then he leaves?
radiologist.
He just tells
So
you
he opens up the scans to like, it looks so fucked up that he's like, I'll be right back. And I think he went to consult with the radiologist again to like, what they saw was pretty intense. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you have a little thing here, like you have a little. And I didn't know in the moment how bad it was. But he came back and he's all right, look, he started showing me my scans, but I didn't fully understand everything that's going on. Like I'm in shock. He's talking to me and it's like out the ear. Like I'm not really processing. So he started showing me, he's like, all right, so you have this in your medulla oblongata, you got this here, you got this here. And I'm like, holy fuck, what's going on right now? I'm like, why? Like, what is he talking about? What do I have? Like, I was just running. I was just skiing. I was just doing jiu-jitsu like 3 weeks ago, like perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I got myself to the hospital and they were talking to me like I was a dead man walking almost. So I was January 24th. So the MRI, and then he's like, all right, we're gonna have to get you into a spinal tap. So MRI, CT, MRI, spinal tap, all within the span of like 1.5 hours. Like just back to back, nonstop.
Great start of the year.
Yeah. So, and he actually went running. Like Dr. Hoshman went running after the radiologist that does the spinal tap.
Yeah.
Because he was like walking to his car because he was done for the day. It was like, I forgot what day it was. But it was just the end of his day. And the guy came back, the doctor came back, and the spinal tap was done like right away.
Wow.
And I don't even ask questions. I'm like, do it. Like, I'm not gonna, I don't hesitate. Like,
right.
I'm all in. Like, figure it out, fix it. I'm not gonna sit here and, oh my God, I need to go home and think about this, like, with how serious they made it seem and how serious I felt it, like it was progressing every day.
Yeah, I don't know how you could go home.
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm stable. No, it was just decline. Every day was like a new thing. Like this finger's numb or this is numb. Spinal tap, all these things are done. And then I'm in the hospital with Vicky, and she stays with me every day. Like she was my rock for sure. Like without Vicky, I don't know how I would have done it. So they drew my blood like twice a day at least, 2 or 3 times a day. They also, this is the part that I was like, what's going on? They were like checking my blood pressure every few hours. They were checking my temperature every few hours. They were everything every few hours. I was being checked up.
Yeah.
And in a moment, I'm telling Vicky like this. I was basically repeating what Dr. Horschmeyer said. He's like, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And I'm telling her like they're treating me like I'm kind of like not here. Like I'm dead.
End of the line here. Yeah. Right.
I'm at the end of the line. Like
yeah.
So then they're trying to give me reasons for what's happening, and they're like, look, we're trying to figure out what this is. So the diagnosis was between parasites. MS was considered, but the results are still coming back from all these things that they did to me, all the blood work, MS, parasites, and I forgot how many other potential diagnoses there were. So that was every day, just test, blood. And every day I was like, all right, we don't think it's this got ruled out. Then MS got ruled out actually within the first few days.
Really? Now, are they explaining what's going on?
Bands.
What was that?
Oh yeah. They're explaining, but I had 10 doctors. I had every specialist you can imagine on my case.
Wow.
And every like 2 or 3 hours, I have one of the doctors come in and say, hey, look, so this part of your body is working okay. This part of your body is working okay. I had like at least, I'm trying to remember, but they had an oncologist on it and everything. So they're checking for cancer, like markers and all that, and everything came back negative. Like they basically, all my tests came back negative except my brain. And they were like, we don't know what's going on. Like my white blood cells were normal, everything was normal, except my spinal tap came back abnormal. My white blood cells were a little elevated there, and they ruled out meningitis. They ruled out a lot of things. They ruled out MS. I'm not sure, like your listeners know, but like oligoclonal bands are like one of the markers they have for MS. So when you test positive for oligoclonal bands, then or negative, vice versa. If you show oligoclonal bands, you might have MS. Like 90% supposedly of MS patients have oligoclonal bands in their cerebral spinal fluid. So I came back negative. So they're like, all right, doesn't look like MS. Like I'm really young, I'm healthy. So they ruled out MS in that moment. But then they started saying that it might be ADEM. And the actual breakdown of ADEM, ADEM, is kind of complicated. But it's basically the immune system over responds to a virus. And I had the flu exactly about 4 weeks before my toe went numb. So I started ruling everything out. And then like the second day, it's crazy how fast these 4 days passed. So the first, second day, by the second, third day, they already talked to me about brain surgery. About, hey, look, this is looking so bad that we need to get a biopsy of what's in there. Because if we wait for all the results to come back, all the cultures, then we might be here for weeks. Like, and brain surgery biopsy seems like the best option to get results ASAP. Because they go straight to the root.
You're getting like all these results back, and they're just they're throwing darts at a dartboard, I'm assuming, just trying to figure out what's going on, and everything's coming back normal except for your brain.
This is an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Exactly. Or House. Yeah, exactly.
House, more like, House.
House. Like, we need to get this guy in here because we need to figure this stuff out. And then you hear brain surgery. What's your are you still in the same like boat of like, yeah, let's get this done? Or are you kind of like, okay, wait, maybe we should pause for a second?
I was like, when and where? I was like, when and where? Are we talking burhole? What are we talking?
Yeah, right.
Let's do it. Like,
am I gonna have some sick scars or what?
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's do it. Like burhole. And that was the initial thing. All right, we're gonna do a burhole, which is little, nothing crazy. And then on the third day, so this is what I'm saying. Like my mind is so like it was so much information in the course of 4 days.
Yeah.
That I think the second day they're already talking about, hey, we should consider brain surgery.